Okay, so here we are in InDesign. I just wanted to do a tutorial for how to set up your InDesign poster for our project. Since you are mostly familiar with InDesign, I'm showing you just kind of like a review of the placement of like how to place images. Since we're dealing with EPSs this week, I wanted to show you kind of how to place them. It's very similar to images, but they show up a little bit differently than images. But I just wanted to give you a little review. So just wanted us to open up a brand new document. If you double check your assignments page, all the information for your assignments, like the different things that should be included, will be in your assignments sheet. And make sure you read through that. Some of the videos, I'm not going through the exact project requirements, so that's why I put it in assignments, so the details. But here's how to set up your file. Like, this should look very familiar to you at this point, so the more practice, the more familiar you get. So we're going to always set this up. So we're going to print. And for your user manual, your personal user manual poster, we're going a little bit larger in our page size. So we're actually going to select tabloid. It's kind of a 11 by 17 sheet. And we're going to double check our units of measure, right? It should be inches, not picas. You have the option to do a portrait or landscape. This is up to you. I defer to portrait. I'm going to do that for now, but you're going to uncheck this because we only have one page. And you're going to create. Okay. So this looks very familiar, I would assume. It's getting more and more advanced here. All right. All of this should look familiar. I'm going to save my file. Make sure you do the same. You guys have been doing great with your file naming. User manual. Okay. And I'm going to click save. Perfect. All right, so here we are. If you check your assignment sheet for your user manual, there's like a couple of steps. Like the first step, you're going to be answering these questions. And so I would answer those questions off the computer, because some of them you should think about. So typing them out in Word will make this process go by faster, I think. And another helpful tool, before you get to this point in your project is after you answer those 12 questions, jot down or sketch little ideas for your illustration graphics. Okay. And maybe even do a thumbnail sketch of how you want to split up this page, right? It's easier for you to kind of brainstorm on pencil and paper before you get to this point. I am going to show you how to place the images from Illustrator into this layout, but I'm not designing anything because that's up to you. And I'm going to make a couple links available so you can get layout ideas. But, you know, slowly but surely, you should be kind of getting your ideas and bringing them, you know, that idea to the page, right? So I'm going to show you the technical stuff of placing your EPSs. But if you have any questions, you know, you can let me know or see me when we have like student hours. But I won't be designing too much of this particular page because it will probably be very unique to everybody. Okay. So when you're placing an EPS, right, go to File, Place. So I'm going to find my file that I was using. You'll kind of see how this will display. But my EPS is like, it shows up nice and clear here. For some of you, it might not be sharp. It might look kind of grainy. That's not the case, right? So I've got all of my images, my little graphics per se, like in my one document. Okay, so if you were following along, your document probably looks kind of similar to this. What I'm going to do is, I know that I have all my images here and I need, you know, I think it was 6 little graphics for the different sections of my layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Okay. And since you can close your frame around different areas in InDesign, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to set it aside. Here's my one image. All right. And then I'm going to paste, right? Because I copied this. So then I'm going to just kind of reframe, adjust my frame of the image. So I can crop out the areas that I don't need. So again, I'm pasting that exact same image and I'm adjusting the frame of what I see so I can use it. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And then depending on how I want my layout, right, because you have your different categories, right? It was about, I put my little instructions here, about, vision, communication, connections. So what I would probably do is I would get my type, right? And then I'll do out, copy and paste, vision, copy and paste, communication, I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to find a font that I like. And center them all at once. And I don't know, like depending on how you're going to divide up your page. I was I wanted them kind of to be similar. I was thinking about splitting the page with like maybe boxes. But depending on your sketch, and your answers, right? If you want to make a box, if you want to ever put your text in a box or a box around your text, I would suggest that you do two separate ones, like one box and then your text. So you're able to manipulate it a little bit better and it's not right on the box isn't like crowding your text. If you want to start there, because then you have your box in place, then you can just try and make it consistent. Right, save. I'm always saving. Communication and vision. I'm gonna vision. Oh, this white space is so nice. Okay. So I want to use color boxes. You are able to divide the page up however you want. So I would suggest that you kind of get your plan for how you want to divide up your page. You know, your swatches, however you want to work that. Let's see. About Copy and paste. So then you'll put your copy, right, your answers. So that'll be a separate text box. That will probably be easiest for you. And this is, I'll put some of this as my rough copy. And even then, so yours would be your actual answers, obviously. You can put your questions and your answers, or you can just put your answers. Another thing you can think about is, having your font match. I kind of want to use something that matches this one. Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. Perfect. All right. The yellow is temporary. Some of you had this question like this. You got an error for your overset text. This indicates overset text. What that means is there's text that's not showing in your box. So all you have to do is either open up your text box or edit your type. Okay. Another thing that you can set is in your paragraph, right? If your paragraph window is not open, it's under type and tables under paragraph. You see how there's hyphenations here? If you want to remove all the hyphenations very quickly, you go to your paragraph window and you uncheck hyphenation. So, very helpful. Okay. And then when you think you've gonna type, let's make these 10. Do a tint. I'll copy and paste this just for placement, just so you can see, but everyone, and I mentioned this, everyone's layout's going to look so different. So it's kind of silly for me to show you what to do, but maybe in doing this you can get ideas, right? So I would highly suggest sketch stuff out, and you know, depending on your answers to your questions. Now I'm gonna insert my images, and you might have to arrange it so it brings it to the front. But your InDesign, your Illustrator graphics, they're resolution free, so you can actually make them as large as you want, and they'll be okay. They won't pixelize, which is great. If you want to make them bigger, these can go over 100% actually, because they're resolution free. So you can kind of place them in different spots. And then, of course, you can edit. So this is what it's starting to look like, but obviously yours will look very different. But I'll do another video just to finish this off. But I think, you know, yours will look completely different. You don't need boxes. You don't need this. I was just doing what kind of came naturally to me. So biggest takeaway, make sure you get your copy, your answers to your questions, jot down the ideas you have for your little illustrations, work on them separately all in Illustrator, and then when you're ready to put them in InDesign, before you do that, I highly recommend that you do a thumbnail sketch of what your layout looks like, right? This is just the preview mode, but double check your assignment sheet because you should have, you know, a certain number of illustrations, a certain number of elements. And so I'm not going to demo that because the more you get familiar with InDesign, the more you can insert your own ideas, right, into your layouts. So kind of have fun and play with it. I'll post this module, and if I finish, if I end up doing a video where I finish it, I'll post it in Canvas. But for the most part, you know, do you. And all the saving instructions are also in the assignment page. So kind of reference that. You might have to read it a couple times, but most of your questions should be answered there. All right. So wonderful. I can't wait to see what you guys make. All right. Don't forget to save. That's the biggest thing. Don't forget to save. Okay.